Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Guy on the Detroit Lions just hit a 61-yarder field goal.
And
Ravens.
Ravens. I mean, the Ravens, right?
Yep. Tucker. Yep.
Yeah, the guy in the Ravens. And now the Stafford just came in and threw an interception.
That's unreal. Yeah, so the Ravens went ahead by 2. Matt Stafford throws a pick on the first play.
Guy goes down, so it looks like it's over.
Yeah, and Elam is the guy who picked the football. Yeah. He's the one who called out Megatron this week for being old.
The
3 interceptions for Matthew Stafford.
First of all, he's very overrated. He's a stat monger.
Stafford?
But in big spots, he's Stafford. Yeah, Stafford.
Stafford is.
Yeah, in big spots, mistakes. But that division, we were just talking about, the NFC North. This division, I've been saying this all year. If the Bears or the Packers beat the Lions, you can go back 3 or 4 weeks to the worst decision made by a coach in football all season. And that was Jim Schwartz in the rain, up by a touchdown in field goal range, going for a fake field goal. Like a complete idiot.
That is
with a win in his pocket.
Talk about overcoaching.
Missed the fake field goal. Team goes down, ties it with a touchdown, and wins. Yeah. I can't remember who it was against. It was like 3-4 weeks ago. I don't know how you can be that dumb and be a head coach in the NFL, but if they lose this, the Lions have handed away 3 or 4 games.
That's an ego thing. That's overcoaching. It's ridiculous. Something like that is stupid.
Absolutely. That's what you do when you're drunk playing Madden against your suite mate in your dorm. You don't do it when you're head coach.
Ron Rivera has had success this year making similar decisions, kind of gambling, Riverboat Ron.
Right.
They've started calling him. And because it's worked. When it doesn't work, you're branded
but in bad weather,
a drunk Madden playing fool.
But in the rain and inclement weather to go do that, I mean, doesn't that make a difference?
Any sense.
I don't know.
But when a trick play works, like you said, hook and ladder, and
the annexation of Puerto Rico from Little Giants,
that was a tough one. That was a real risk that I was rooting for.
Yeah, sure.
How about this? David, watching on the Audience Network in Georgia, has a complaint about the show. David?
Hey, yeah, I got a problem with the whole Boschetti thing on the beginning of the show.
Oh, no.
What happened? What's the matter? What happened?
When he said the 12 commandments.
Right.
Again with this?
Yeah.
Does he ever get anything right with the Bible?
I noticed 10 commandments, Dave. I know.
Yeah. The man's mother goes to Mass.
Every day. Yeah.
Thought he was a joke. I noticed 10 of them.
I know, man. I'm sorry, but come on.
But in David's defense, though, Mike, when you get every single question you're asked wrong, that makes the 12 commandments seem believable. I believe that there's 10.
I know there's 10 of them, of course.
But of course.
The only thing I can think of is Mel Brooks' History of the World, as he walks out as Moses, and he goes, God gives us these 15, and drops the tablet and goes, oi.
Yeah.
10.
That was genius.
Commandments for us all to obey.
Right. 12. Well, that was genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I know. I agree. But name 3 Mel Brooks movies, Mike. That's a good one.
Of course. Blazing Saddles, History of the World, and what do you call it? Young Frankenstein.
There you go.
Silent movie. Life Stinks.
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
But David, in your defense, I thought he meant 12 commandments too for a second, just because every single question you've been asked, you've gotten wrong since we've started you on the show.
I was only having fun. I knew, not everything, but I mean,
we have some a quiz coming up. Maybe Casey Stern can get involved with the quiz too.
Oh, good.
There's a quiz?
Well, we've been asking Mike and Dan a lot of quiz questions.
Are they getting along? By the way, the last time I was here, you two were fighting. We're still fighting. You're still fighting?
They always. Well,
it doesn't seem like it's been simmering below the surface.
What are they fighting about?
It's a Cold War.
It is.
It really is.
Do they talk? Like, I know they're separated in the studio. Do these guys ever speak?
Well, I mean, Artie calls Boschetti out on this. Boschetti will go after Dan, then automatically backpedals. It's really weird.
Well, you do, and then he challenges them to a contest.
But is it shtick, or this goes on behind the scenes too? You guys just don't like each other.
No, it's legit. Mike gets mad. Mike gets mad, and Dan, whether he wants to admit it or not, gets equally angry all the time.
He doesn't even look at him. Mike Boschetti looks over here when he talks. Dan looks at us when he talks.
Mike tries to make it fun and decides to challenge Dan almost every day.
Right.
With another contest.
Well, there's a reason he doesn't look at him. Do we have any of Mike's Instagrams? They are extraordinary. Did you leave anything else, Mike, recently?
Have you ever looked at that?
This morning,
No,
I did this
I have not
afternoon.
seen those.
That was a classic last week, Casey.
I've seen the Job of the Hut shots that you've shown, though. We've done that before.
Let's play on Instagram. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I am super, super blessed to have the best friends, family, and fans on the planet. I love you all. Artie, everybody on the show, all my family, friends, and fans. You rock. Love you all. Thank you for giving me a great life.
And there it is right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the audio was wonderful.
It was nice. It was very nice.
I didn't
Now, if
realize you
saw-
were doing it
if you saw
while
that,
in a coma.
If you saw that picture, would your first guess be that guy's in show business?
Dude,
I'm the
I
same
know-
way. I have the worst
that is a
headshots.
bad one.
I have the worst
What is
headshots
that?
of all time.
What is that on your upper lip?
It's not a beauty mark.
It's a booger.
No, I put it on like De Niro has a beauty mark.
You missed with the Blistex.
like sort of like Cindy Crawford's beauty mark. Right?
Yeah.
No, but what is that, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't,
It's grease.
no.
A lot of grease.
It's some moist.
Oh, My question is, you can see yourself when you're doing the Instagram because I showed Mike how to turn the video
Oh,
around.
okay.
So he sees that when he does it.
The audio was really nice. If you would have left voice of
Oh, we have
Mike
a lot of good
Bichetti
audio.
instead of but it was a really nice note, and then that just doesn't seem to work with it.
My phone
you know?
started ringing around 4 a.m. when he did this. And normally when it rings at 4 a.m., it's, the strip club calling. John Ritchie left his wallet there. But just kidding you,
He's been
John.
prepping
Just
that joke
kidding
all week.
ya. I'm just teasing. So the people that watched the show, as soon as they saw this, they started calling my phone. You have to see this Instagram.
That's good. Mike is getting the show out there. He's promoting the show.
I'm not afraid.
No, thanks. No one thinks you're afraid.
Most people are afraid of their own shadow in life. I'm not at all.
Well, there's another one.
What is that?
That's another Instagram. That's Mike taking.
I think you
Instagram.
should let people write the captions.
Is there another? Oh, yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
I think you should have people call in and just leave that picture up for like 10 minutes
Actually, somebody
and just see who calls.
pranked Dennis Miller about my comedy class.
What happened?
Miller went along with it. I haven't heard this though.
They pranked him. What did he say? What do you mean?
Some guy. I think Salson did. This guy Steve did. I haven't heard it myself. I don't know.
That you haven't heard it?
No.
Has anyone else heard it? That he got pranked or anything? Maybe they're pranking you that he was pranked.
No, I don't know. But he said Miller went along with it though. I don't know. I thought
Yeah,
he
you
would
see,
eat them
maybe
up.
they're lying to you.
They could be. I don't know.
Well, of course, without confirming, it makes sense to blurt it out on the air.
Are there other ones?
We have a couple Instagrams.
Yeah.
Let's play.
I would
else
go
we
back
got?
and check your Twitter on the Dennis Miller thing, Mike, but there's so many tweets about Opie and Anthony.
I have seen that. You're on tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Wow.
There you
What
go.
are you on?
Really?
Even a pro. Yeah, I have seen that. On
Yeah.
my
What is he on?
timeline.
It's always been tweeting about
He's
Opie and
on
Anthony.
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, he's on tomorrow.
Oh, open it. What are you doing tomorrow there?
Just going in studio 8 o'clock. I got it there early.
And what do you do?
Be interviewed, I guess.
And then Adult Swim too, right, Mike?
Yeah, I got to shoot
See?
that after that for an hour and then come
See?
back tomorrow
He's
night.
giving me 10% of what?
10% of $3.
You're really cutting into the schedule.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
No,
Sounds
but
like you're a little bit overburdened with
No,
a
no.
lot of other things.
No, Audie inspired me to work my butt off.
I don't want that burden.
I don't think I said that. I don't think I said to every other show.
Nothing says work ethic like that
Yeah.
picture.
If you're too tired to come in tomorrow, don't come in.
No, of course I always come in.
Tomorrow,
God.
Mike will probably be too tired to
Of
come
course, you always come in.
I'll be in. I'll sleep. A few
I don't
hours,
know.
doesn't matter.
That hasn't happened. That
in. Tune
hasn't
in to
proved
Opie and Anthony
accurate.
tomorrow to get the best of Mike.
Yeah.
Tune in here for when he's drowsy.
The rest of Mike.
Back
Bet
after
you-
this.
16th.
Oh, it's the 16th?
It happened at Spark Steakhouse. Paul Castellano was murdered today in the city.
That is true. That is true, but that's not what we're talking about. I don't know if that's a great American memory.
To some people,
That's when
yes.
John Gotti. That's when John Gotti had Castellano killed outside the steakhouse.
44th Street, I think.
46th Street and Second. Yeah. Something else happened, Mike.
December 16th.
Yeah, December 16th.
You can't change the date now.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Mike is a student of history.
I don't know.
He
It
does-
happened in Massachusetts.
He does read up on that.
In
lot of
Massachusetts.
It happened in Massachusetts.
This century.
No.
Not this century.
Out of
Yeah.
It wasn't the Boston Massacre. That happened later.
No, I thought you were there, though.
That was 1770. Let's see. I don't know what is it.
But Mike, you're so close to that. Can you figure out anything else that happened with the Boston as a starter?
The massacre was 1770. The Tea Party.
Yeah.
That's well done right there.
Blammo. Look at that. You can see he's getting a little confidence about him now.
No, it's a big deal.
Look at that.
It is a big, huge thing.
But your first guess was the Gotti murdering.
Well, we broke away from that, fat pig that was trying to get over on us. 3,000 another cut across the cut.
Is he talking about the Tea Party, or is he talking about...
Yeah. King George III, that idiot.
Do you have that on tape? What he just said? The cuck. We were discussing, midget porn. The midgets are upset.
No, I don't know midget porn, luckily.
They're offended. They're offended by the name midget porn.
Sure you do.
Who's they?
Midgets.
Right.
They want it to be called little people porn.
Little people porn.
And to me, that sounds very condescending.
That's like pedophile
It sounds
stuff,
very
right?
condescending. No. It's midget.
No, if you did little people porn, I would think it was...
No, little people porn are what midgets want to be called.
Right.
Adult midgets.
Adult midgets.
And we had Mike. It's a whole legal industry. And we had Mike audition to.
It's part of the
Adult midgets?
process.
We had Mike. There's kid midgets and there's adult midgets.
Yeah,
But,
but you never.
And
You don't really think
they,
of them as kids.
They ran your Dave's Old Porn where you had that woman on. That
Yeah, there's
did
a
the
midget in
porn.
there.
Yeah,
That was.
they ran that
grotesque.
Saturday night.
Really?
Yeah, at 3:00 in the
I
morning.
did a thing with Attell. He's a thing called Dave's Old Porn. We'd watch old porno from the 70s with the chick who's in the porn.
Oh, nice.
And we watched it with Vanessa Del Rio, who was a big porn star back then. And she's having sex with a midget. There's grotesque things going on, blah, blah, blah.
And you were commentating.
And I said something that offended her, I guess. And she said, "Whoa, easy with the racism." I said, "What are you talking about? You're having sex with a midget. That's what you..." My God. But we had Mike audition.
I'm really sorry I missed that.
We had Mike audition to announce, when James Earl Jones said CNN.
Oh, yeah.
CNN. For little people porn, we had Boschetti put something on tape to audition for that. So let's hear that.
Little people porn.
Oh, my God.
Little people porn.
If you play that outside of first grade class, everyone jumps out the window.
Casey, I was actually baited and goaded into that.
Oh, wait, Casey, I want Casey to give us his opinion. It's two of them. Give us which one do you think's better? Go ahead.
Little people porn.
All right, just get that in your head.
I don't want to.
All right, and then the next one.
Little people porn.
What do you like better?
He really dangles.
Going
it
back
out there.
2 minutes and erasing everything.
Also, Peter King from Sports Illustrated.
Oh, yeah.
We had him do
Peter
one.
King,
We had
good
him
guy.
do one. Got here.
Little people porn.
That is.
Do you think
He sounds like
official?
he's doing an instructional manual. If you play that again,
Yeah,
it's
let's
like
let's have one
chapter
more.
4. Go ahead, play the Peter King one. It's like chapter 4.
Little people porn.
Right?
Do you think
a little
he would be?
confused.
Do you think he would be offended if we made him the voice of Little People Porn?
Well, don't you want to try to be the voice of little people porn?
Just say it for us real quick.
Little people porn.
Back into
There
the
you go.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.